Now then, moving into part 4, what we're going to do is you're going to take your thumb, bring it over the top of the neck of the guitar, press down firmly on the 5th fret of your low E string. You're going to pick that note and let it ring out for a second. After you've done that, what you're going to do is this. You're then going to take your pointer finger and place it on the 5th fret of your A string. Play that note one time. Then take your ring finger and place it on the 7th fret of your A. Play it once. After that, place your pointer finger on the 5th fret of your G. Play that one time. And then take your ring finger and place it on the 7th fret of your A. Play it one time. So far here in part 4 we have this played slow. After you've done that, you're going to place your pointer finger here on the 5th fret of your G. You're going to pick that note. And after you've picked it, real quickly, you're going to take either your ring finger or your pinky, take one or the other, and hammer on quickly to the 7th fret of your G. That will sound like this. Looking at that from this angle, looks like this. After you've hammered on, you're going to pick your ring finger up out of the way, and then you're going to pick the 5th fret of your G once again. So all together here in part 4, we have this played slow. And real speed so far we have this. After that, you're going to place your pointer finger on the 5th fret of your D string. You're going to pick that note one time, and after you pick it, you're going to hammer on quickly to the 7th fret of your D. So far all together we have this played slow in part 4. And then what we're going to do next is you're going to move your pointer finger up to the 5th fret of your A. You're going to pick it and you're going to hammer on to the 7th fret. This time the hammer on is not going to be as quick as the 2 previous hammer-ons. It'll sound like this. So far we have this played slow in part 4. And then after that, you're going to drop your pointer finger down to the 5th fret of your D. Play that note one time. So we have this all together in part 4, played slow. And then after that, you're going to move your pointer finger up to the 5th fret of your low E string. What we're going to do is this. I'm going to pick the low E string one time. And then after I've picked it, I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to hammer on to the 7th fret. And after I've hammered on, I'm going to continue to press down firmly with my ring finger, and I'm going to slide my ring finger down the neck of the guitar to nothing. So that'll sound like this played slow. And then after I've done that, I'm going to play my low E string open. And that will end part 4. Part 4 played all together in slow. Part 4 played in real speed. Parts 1 through 4 played together in real speed. Now for part 5, what we're going to do is you're going to take your pointer finger and you're going to lay it flat on the neck of the guitar. We want to bar here. We're going to be barred here on the 7th fret. You want your pointer finger to be pressing down firmly on the A, the D, the G, and the B strings. So I've got my pointer finger laid flat on the neck. I'm pressing down firmly on those 4 notes, which are the 7th fret of the A, the D, the G, and the B. And then you want to take your middle finger and place it on the 8th fret of your B. Press down firmly there. And then take your ring finger and place it on the 9th fret of your D. So that's the chord there. Be sure that your ring finger is curved anyway so that it's not touching the string below it, the G. Now the notes that I have pressed down here are going to be the 7th fret of the A, the 9th fret of the D, the 7th fret of the G, and then we have the 8th fret of the B string. So we formed this chord here to begin part 5. The chord's formed. What we're going to do is this. It begins by us picking our G and our B strings together, and after we've picked those two notes, which those two notes are going to be the 7th fret of the G and the 8th fret of the B. I'm going to pick those two notes together, and after I've done that, I'm going to take my pinky, I'm going to hammer on to the 10th fret of the B and then immediately pull back off. That will sound like this played slow. Looking at that from this angle here, looks like this. And at roll speed, that's going to sound like this. And after you've done that, you're then going to pick the G and the B strings together. So we have this so far here in part 5, played slow. After that, we're going to pick the A and the D strings together. Those two notes will be the 7th fret of the A and the 9th fret of the D. That will sound like this. Then after that, you're going to pick the A string only, which is the 7th fret. So all together here in part 5, we have this played slow. And then after we've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your pinky and you're going to place it on the 10th fret of your A string. Play that note one time. So far all together here in this part 5, we have this played slow. After we played the 10th fret of our A, you're going to take your pointer finger, you'll drop it down so that you're barred across your D and your G strings here at the 7th fret. Pick those two notes together. So far we have this all together here in part 5. And then what we're going to do is this. You're going to once again pick the D and the G strings together. My pointer finger is barred at the 7th fret on those two strings. After I pick them together this time, I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to hammer on to only the 9th fret of the D. So that will sound like this. Looking at that from this angle. Far here in part 5, we have this played slow. And then after we've done that hammer on there, you'll pick your ring finger up out of the way. Your pointer finger is still barred at the D and the G at the 7th fret. Pick those two notes together. So far we have this in part 5 altogether played slow. And then after that, take your pinky, place it back on the 10th fret of your A, play it again. And then take your pointer finger, lay it flat so that you bar across your A and your D strings here at the 7th fret, play those two notes together. And by doing that, that will end part 5 of the introduction to play it all together in slow. Part 5 played in roll speed. Now before we go any further, I want to first play everything that we've talked about together slowly, and then I'll play it in roll speed. So here I'm going to play parts 1 through 5 slow, and then I'll play them in roll speed. Here's parts 1 through 5 played together in slow.